Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, a proud partner of USC football. Our football roundtable, John Jackson joins us now, the great JJ with me, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Keely Yore. JJ, what's going on, man? I think everyone filled with optimism and excitement after that game on Saturday. And it also marked the end of the first half of the season. Trojans sit at 5-1. What did you take from that game that makes you feel good about the second half of the season?
Well, the big thing is the offensive line. I mean, Michigan is supposed to be the bully. They're supposed to be able to run the ball. We took it right to them with a freshman walk-on running back. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable week, and I the Lincoln Riley's calls. I was amazed at how much he started the game throwing the ball. I mean, it felt like 10 consecutive passes to start the game. He spread the ball around and got Mayaba his confidence, and once that happened, it was just all Trojans the rest of the way.
Yeah, ended up with more runs than passes too. So he flipped it as the game went on and set a tone early. And the thing about that offensive line is it can get better, guys, because in theory, hopefully Elijah Page comes back at some point. And we thought it would just be a huge loss not having him out there. We talked about how great Tobias Raymond's been, but in general, that group has been fantastic.
Yeah, I just love the play calling. I thought the sequencing of plays, you see the same look on defense. You see the GT, which is the guard and tackle, are pulling, and then you get the ball to Mackay. And then you wonder why it opens up like a highway for King Miller as they run the same play, and everyone's going to Mackay, and then King Miller's, free to run right open. So, I mean, as much as we give Lincoln Riley so much credit for his play calling, it's on the next level. When he's dialed in like that, he was in the zone and just calling. It just seemed like the right play after play. It's a thing of beauty to watch.
I wonder, was it scripted? Was it scripted? Because it didn't look like it was. It was beautiful to watch from an offensive standpoint, and the receivers are getting involved. I had a problem with Blake when he walked out.
With Walker.
With Walker, sorry. Yeah, with Walker, I had a problem with him because I said, you do not get used to getting hit as a receiver. He acted like it was nothing.
He's a big tight end. You're just a little wide receiver.
But these guys talk about the offense, but the defense has got to also give you some optimism going forward too.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the energy that they had. It looked like, and Sean kind of mentioned this in our bye-week football roundtable, but they looked like a group, to be frank, that was kind of yelled at for 2 weeks. They looked like they were responding to what they were told, and that film study was probably not great after Illinois, but they responded. And I think that's the thing that's most encouraging. To go back to your first question, Jordan, just the energy and starting fast on both sides of the ball, but to go 3-and-out against Michigan was just so important. And the way that they responded in the second half, like Coach Riley said as well, I just thought that was very encouraging for the second half.
Yeah, and the adjustments to me on defense were phenomenal too. Going back and watching that game, seeing how they got Kamari back in his safety position, they got Eric Gentry in that slot, kind of where he's such a unicorn, he can be in that slot position, playing that almost kind of like a nickel, but give him a 3 linebacker look, so you're a little more stout in the run game. The run game stunts that they were bringing the ends in and just making the middle messy, so the running backs always had to bounce outside was I think just a great game plan by Dentlin.
And what did you think of adding Jaden Walker too with those base looks?
Yeah, those, like I said, those 3 linebackers being in there just give you a lot more physical approach when you have Gentry, Stevens, and Walker in there. I mean, excuse me. Jaden Walker, Walker in there. Those guys, they played a good game. Desmond Stevens just keeps getting better each week too. He's making a ton of tackles out there. And I know, maybe fans have a different opinion, but if you're watching the game, he's getting in there, he's getting nasty, he's getting downhill. So you got to like the way he's developing, I think, as a linebacker.
First year starter.
Hey, Sean, why do they call Eric Gentry's name so much? He's everywhere.
Yeah, he just does everything. He had a TFL. He comes down the hill, gets that tip pass. He just flies around. And as an offense, you're looking at him out there. You see 18 over there on your slot receiver, and he's out there, and he's just kind of looming out there. So it's kind of a scary look if you're an offense, is to have that guy on the edge and have him out there, and he can do so many things. So it's really fortunate to have him.
Kind of an interesting Notre Dame team here. I think they're good defensively. I think they might be great offensively. Usually they're kind of a flip of that. I really like their freshman quarterback, C.J. Carr. He's the grandson, I believe, of Lloyd Carr, the national championship winning head coach for Michigan. And then their running backs, Jeremiah Love, who we've seen, and Jadarian Price. I mean, that probably is the best back tandem in the country. What do you worry about with the Irish?
Well, for me, it's quarterback efficiency, I think, for both teams. Whoever wins that one-on-one battle, I think wins the game. I think I think that Jaden has been. I mean, Lincoln has been making the reads easy for him.
Yeah.
With his play calling and the efficiency with the run game. So the run game combined with the play calling has been really the key offensively. I love it. So I think the Trojans take the same game plan to this game, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it's a tougher challenge. You know, you have a quarterback that I think can be a little more efficient than Underwood, who's still developing a little bit. CJ, obviously a freshman, but they're using him well. He's getting the ball. He's really efficient with getting his receivers the ball. So it's not just the run game you got to focus on. They're pretty balanced attack. So it's definitely another step and challenge.
He's seventh nationally in passer rating and the only freshman at near the top of that list. So an impressive player. We will see him in person on Saturday. We got one more segment to go of Trojans Live. One final segment of Trojans Live. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Keely, or John Jackson, all my favorite people here. Recapping that Michigan game, I just realized I forgot to do a fresh over-under because I was too busy researching how much I enjoyed the over-unders we did Saturday. So I will throw that out as the topic to wrap up that Michigan game. But here are the ones we threw out on Saturday. They kind of all hit, just so people know. The over-under was 30 attempts for Jade Mayava. He ended up at 32.
Okay.
But 32 throws to 36 passes. We didn't sort of get this question of Lincoln, but the offensive balance was fantastic on Saturday.
Exactly, and that's what kept the Michigan defense off track all day. They looked just confused after a while. And then King Miller, oh my.
We'll stay with King Miller, 6.2 yards per carry USC was at. The over-under we set at 4, so they went way over, and I think that shows the dominance of that performance against that Michigan defense.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's the way you use Mekhi Lemon in this offense for Lincoln Riley is not just a playmaker. You give him the ball on the screens and stuff, but use him as a decoy a lot. So I mean, that's just the way they're using him is fantastic.
And to your point, I think maybe you said Mekhi Lemon would go under 120 yards because you thought he would get a lot of attention. One of you guys was talking about that, and he did. He goes under 93. Obviously was incredibly impactful, but what you've talked about is how impactful he can be as a receiver. It doesn't necessarily have to catch the ball. His gravity, it's taking up so much of the defensive game plan.
Yeah, as you know, my dad was a running back coach here back in the day, and he used to tell the running backs, run through the hole, not to the hole, and that's exactly what King did.
And 3 sacks hit the over. I think I set the over under at 2.5 sacks for USC. Loved the way the pass rush finished the game. Seemed like Michigan kind of wanted out of there at the end of the game. It was not like tack on, sloppy at the end. It was USC defense dominant to the whistle. And then the last one was holding Justice Haynes under his number. And obviously he got hurt in that game, so he was at 51 yards. That'll do it for us on Trojans Live. Beat the Irish is next. Bye now.